Welcome to the Scale Model Podcast. In this podcast, we aim to entertain, inform, and promote the hobby of scale model kit building with interviews, reviews, and news about the hobby. The podcast is available bi-weekly where your favorite podcasts are found, including iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. You can also get it from our website at scalemodelpodcast.com, where you can find show notes, photo gallery, and so much more. You can also subscribe to get notifications on all our updates, new episodes, and video content. Please support the Scale Model Podcast on Patreon. Patreon supporters enjoy early access to content and exclusive contests. Your Patreon support helps us to offset hosting and other costs to bring the podcast to you. Welcome to episode 144 of the Scale Model Podcast, sponsored by Cult TV Band, Sean's Custom Model Schools, and Return to Kit Form. I'm one of your hosts, Stuart Clark, once again joined on a warm summer evening by our man north of Lake Erie, Mr. Geoff Hyland.
How are you, Stuart?
Not bad. How are you tonight?
Well, I've been outdoors today, and it's, as usual, very muggy and miserable.
Yeah,
And we are looking forward to the remnants of Hurricane Beryl.
exactly.
Second major storm of the season, drifting up through the United States, which will probably hit your next guest before it hits us. Who knows?
Well, it might. You never know. It might dodge him. So from west of Chicagoland, where he makes a living from dodging hurricanes, Mr. Terry Muesley.
Oh, Terry, your microphone's off.
We lost Terry.
See, that's what I get for muting when I sneeze.
You're
that's
trying to
all
be.
right.
I was watching you, and you were trying to be so cool about
That's
it.
all right.
But
We'll
no,
leave that in.
gotcha.
We'll leave that in. That's all right.
Yeah. Well, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
We do get remnants of hurricanes occasionally this far north. The one I remember most was over our East Dundee, West Dundee. Well, I think it's West Dundee all now, but they do Heritage Fest, which is there in September, a big thing. And one weekend it was so much rain.
Oh,
on
dear.
Heritage Fest. The entire weekend it was just
Ugh.
like inch and a half a day, which doesn't
Oh.
sound like much from somebody from the Gulf Coast, but up
Yep.
here that'll fill the creeks pretty fast.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
no kidding.
I'm still
No kidding.
dealing with a minor leak in between our two units, mine and my neighbors. So unfortunately, I have the shop back and I've cleared away, and we just kind of deal with it as we can. So we also want to thank our Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee supporters. Also our check our What We Like page. I've been trying to add some of the books we're reading to there. I will be doing some more over the summer. And that is a nice, how about that for a nice segue? That's a nice segue into our latest news. We're actually going to take a little bit of a sabbatical until September 2nd. So we're going to take the summer off, and it's all me. I've got enough real life stuff going on with my good wife being sick. She's going in the hospital, awful lot of other stuff going on. It's just busy. And I'm one of these people, if I can't do 100% product, I'm not happy. So I want to make sure we're going to do that, and we'll hopefully have some excitement.
Wait. Just so I understand, this show is 100% product. Is that how you see it?
100% of my output, productivity. I want to make sure
okay.
quality. I know,
Okay.
believe it or not, quality. I know the bar's not high. I'm just saying, but still. So we're going to take a little bit of a break. Hopefully we'll have some exciting new things in September. And you know what? It's always nice to take the summer off, go on sabbatical, do that. So there we go. It'll give us time to work on kits, hopefully.
Now, we were chatting about this just before you hit the record button, but we will not be able to chat about whatever interesting things develop at the U.S. Nationals in a week and a half until September. But we can probably deal with all of that on the Facebook.
Oh
group.
yeah, if something serious happens, we'll definitely cover it on Facebook, and
I'm sure the rest of the podcast guys will pick that stuff.
Oh
right
yeah.
up.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
But we are there's a few challenge coins making their way down there. So and I know our good buddy Frank Donati from IPMS Canada, he's going down there. He's going to have a meeting with the president of IPMS USA and IPMS Mexico. So it's like the old three amigos.
Yeah.
So will it be interesting to see what comes out of that too, and all sorts of exciting things. But for all those of you going to nationals, I hope you have a good time, safe journey. You don't go completely bankrupt in the vendor room.
Absolutely.
Now, I think Geoff, you were mentioning at our last build night, you saw the map.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. It was on it's on the Facebook group for the Nats, and I think Jeff Hearn posted it. And first of all, it's a huge building that they're going to have it in.
Hmm.
But secondly, holy mackerel, there's a lot of vendors coming to this thing.
Yeah.
This is going to be, I think as you described it, the world's greatest hobby shop for 4 days.
Yeah, the
Hmm.
world's largest hobby shop for 4 days. That's the way they describe it. So,
Mm.
yeah, there'll be a lot of fun. That reminds me, I got to get my list to Frank. There's a couple of
How
things
can
that,
you have a list? How can you
well,
still have a list?
there is. It's just actually only one thing. It's the Alicia's grandfather served in the war. He was a doctor. He worked with Banting, and he was in a crash of a B-24 at Gander. And they actually they recovered his body just after the crash, but they actually recently dove down there again. And I think Edouard used the Hasegawa molding. It's called Riders of the Storm, and it's actually an aircraft from the same squadron. So if I see it, I want Frank to pick it up if it's not too unreasonable, and I can easily adapt it
Mm.
because it's got everything. It's exactly that squadron, exactly that aircraft. Now you gave me a nice B-24 too, so if I can, I can always adapt that as well. But this
Yeah.
one apparently has got all the goodies one needs, and it builds up quite well apparently. So I'd like to do that as a commemoration build for Alicia's grandfather. So it's one of those ones that if it's a good deal, if I happen to up on it, then I'll get it. I'm not like gonna pay, crazy prices and all that.
Like
But
$5 or something. That's crazy. That's
that's
$5.
crazy. Well, I think it goes for
No
over
release.
it goes for over 100. It's been out for a while, but
Oh,
they don't
okay.
make them anymore. It's a big 72nd scale B-24, and it's got, like I say, the number 10 squadron from the RCAF. So that's what I'm looking for, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get
You should
on.
you
Mhm.
should get one in 132nd scale, so it'll go nicely with your
It'll go
Spitfire.
it'll go nicely with my Spitfire, the
Your
Bentley. Yeah,
Lysander, your
sure.
Lysander.
Yeah, why not, right? And, I got a little bit more room in the house, you know. But yeah, we'll see. All right, we're going to talk about all those goodies at the latest Broughdale sale a little bit later, but let's get on with the hobby news. First of all, very important thing here, Shapeways has filed for bankruptcy. No big surprise. They were overpricing for a while, but they were one of the original 3D printing companies that people would have their various 3D files on, and then one could go on there and order a printout.
Hmm.
But yeah, they weren't keeping with the times. They had a lot of older printers. And people in that space are saying, yeah, no big surprise there. It's just a matter of where will some of these vendors now go. Although a lot of them now print their own or use other services.
Yeah, I
That,
checked Hero Forge where you can design your own gaming miniatures and such,
Yeah,
and actually print in color and such, and they say physical miniature orders are on hold. I know because you get boxes from Shapeways if you order from Hero Forge.
right, right.
Um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see who picks up the bits and pieces from that.
So, yep, I'm sure there is a market for it, as we always say. So we'll see, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
All right. Other news, individual releases in that. Italary's got some releases. They got, I believe, 6 here. One's definitely a new mold. The rest are repops, I believe. So first up is the F-35C Lightning 2, the Kato bar version. This is from Italary. This is all new molds.
mhm.
So the 72nd scale, the one you find on the aircraft carrier with the folding wings, etc.
Hmm.
Lots of nice decals, four marking choices, all U.S. Marine Corps, and some Navy stuff. Two Navy, two Marine Corps. Masks, die cut masks, and also for painting not only the canopies but the ram panels. With that
Yeah.
unique look. So that's kind of nice. That'll
Looks
save
like
you.
the canopy is tinted. At least part of the sprue looks
Yep.
like it's tinted. That's
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think
nice.
it is.
Yeah.
Yep, to match that. So that'll be good.
Hmm.
So yeah, nice looking kit. It's going to be out from Italary very, very soon, probably even as we speak. So yeah, so that's a nice one. That's one I have, or no, I do have an F-35 in the stash. Yes, I do. I've got an early model from Italary. It came with that and the F-30, the X-32 or the X-31, the Boeing submission, the one with the great big mouth, the
Mhm.
intake valve, whatever. X31, I think it was. So I've got that. Those are for my what ifs. Okay, next up is looks like an Italian vehicle, some sort of Jeep armored car with a great
Yeah,
big gun.
It's kind of
Sahariana.
Sahariana, is that how you pronounce it?
Sahariana.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
All
a
right.
desert. It was built on the
Armored car.
AB. I've got one of these. I built
Yeah.
the AB41. I should
Okay.
get back to it. It's at painting. It's at weathering stage, I think.
Okay.
That's where I left off. I need to get back to it.
All right. So there you
Yeah,
go.
it's a 20 mil, dual use 20 mil on the
Oh yeah.
tinsel mount there.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I
actually
think
kind of a neat looking vehicle. I like
Yeah.
this
it
one.
Look
is
at all the way they got
cool.
the jerry cans all on the
So
side there.
they were four-wheel steering,
Right.
and kind of a universal setup like a lot of these ones where it could drive in reverse about as fast
Cool.
as forward. But yeah, they were really useful. I even got resin desert tires for
There
it.
you go. So that could be a
But
summer
I need to get
project for you.
back to it. Yeah,
There we go.
that's a good one to just build it, just
Just get
finish
it
it.
done. Jeff's been hitting the shelf of shame.
Yeah.
So there we go. There's something for this. There's something for September.
Yeah,
Okay,
they were good vehicles.
and next up, how about this for you and Lynn, Jeff? Now for
I know, I
Romeo
love it.
1600 Spider,
It's really nice.
124 scale. I love the blue.
It takes me back, boy. These cars were back
62
in the
to
day when
61.
cars looked nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is nice. Inline four-cylinder, 1570 cc. Couple of decals,
Bright blue molding.
bright blue
I like that.
molding.
And
Yep,
black.
yep. You got the nice
Some
one there.
springs.
Springs, chrome parts.
Oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah,
Nice
this
kit.
looks
Nice kit.
this looks nice. Yeah.
How can you not like these little spiders? Any
Yeah.
of these companies.
I just
Little
can't
spiders.
I just don't think I can get into them anymore. I can't get down that low.
Oh.
That's the only problem, and I may not fit.
Well, that's okay. The wind will blow through your hair over the top
That's
of the
right.
windshield.
Yeah, exactly. And the bugs are like going into my teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
My head will be above the windshield. All right, next up, I'm pretty sure this is a repop. This is the
Yeah.
Mirage 3E 148 scale from Italy, the early 60s Interceptor.
I always liked the French lawn darts. These are really
Mhm.
nice.
Yep. Various air forces, including Australia, use them. The Spanish. So we've got the RAF 75th Squadron, Williamtown, Australia, in 1985. The Spanish folks, Brazil. And what's the last one here?
It's French.
French. That's right. Yes. So
Yeah.
again, yeah. You got an afterburner. You can go Mac 2 with the afterburner. Yep. As you say, the French lawn darts. I like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of detail stuff out there for these that'll be
Oh, yeah.
repopped.
Tons of aftermarket for
Yep.
these things. Okay, next up, another one for their what I call their gaming line, their 156 scale. This is the Cromwell Mark IV. 55 parts, decals for two versions, 11.3 centimeters in length. Yeah, nice big ass Cromwell, 7th Armored Division at Normandy, and the 1st Polish Armored Division at Normandy. 75 millimeter gun, one-piece tracks, two-piece tracks, I guess. But basically, looks like Lincoln length. No, they look like that's weird. Yeah, well, it's a gaming one, so they just two-piece molding probably.
Probably,
Yeah. Yeah, but there we go. All right, and also if you got a British one, you got to have a German one, a Panzer III, 156 scale, 89 parts, including a figure and decals for two versions. Looks like you can make it whatever number you want. All the details there.
Exactly.
Late version A, the OS-J in Russia, 1942, or the OS-L in Italy in 44. Yeah, it's an attractive looking tank. I built one in 35th scale. Oh, and also a version C in Denmark with the short gun, 45, and the version D with the side skirts in Normandy in 44 with the long gun. So there you go. And again, similar sort of thing for your gaming thing. So that's from our good friends at Italy. Moving on, ICM. ICM's got some cool things coming out. So we've got the 135th scale Leopard 2A6 with crew. This is one of the ones that have been picked up by the armed forces of the Ukraine from Germany. So this is a full-on with the crew. So that looks nice, 135th scale. They've received a according to Forbes, Ukraine's received a total of 21. Go ahead, Geoff.
I was just going to say this is a very sharp looking tank.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something
Three were
something about it.
Yeah, 3 were donated by Portugal and the rest from Germany.
Yeah. Very
So,
nice. That'd be
Yep.
fun. That'll be popular.
that
And
will
then
be.
a paint set for it.
Yep. Unless you're a Russian tanker, then it won't be popular. It also comes with the Leopard. You can also get a Leopard crew, and as Geoff said, the paint set. They're also coming out with the acrylic paint set for the World War II Imperial Japanese Great Navy.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
If I hadn't already got my Tamiya paint for my Yamato,
Very good. Very
you like
good.
that? I'm getting better. This would be a good choice. Medium rush, neutral gray, some matte red, German gray primer, and a varnished gloss included.
We should alert the listeners that you have clicked the little button in the middle of the bottom of the Zoom call that engages AI to take notes of everything we say. So we're kind of curious to see how AI works with Stuart's pronunciation. So we'll see how that plays out.
We'll see how well it slaughters it. And also, I actually had this as a separate item, but I forgot it was in here. So this is some people have been talking about the Studebaker 135th US 6U5 gasoline tank truck.
That looks cool.
You know,
That
deuce and a
looks
half
really-
with a bunch of gas on it.
Patton's Army runs on the gas. Exactly.
Maybe they'll do one in 48th.
Yep.
No smoking within 50 feet. Oh yeah, right.
That was World War II. You're kidding, right?
That's my point. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Kerboom, kerboom. There was an earth-shattering kerboom.
We're gonna die, but not by cancer. So come on.
Yeah, what the
We'll
heck?
smoke the damn cigarette.
All right.
Yep.
And then they also have a 135th KFZ-70 German military vehicle with an MG34 kit. So imagine like the Jeep with the machine gun. This would be the German version.
It is one of the most generic looking vehicles.
Yep.
It's just slabs. It's awesome.
For your first scratch build project, basically build a box and stick wheels on it.
Yeah.
Now the engine compartment might be a challenge, but
Well,
Yes.
and they would put all sorts of things on here.
Yeah. It was just
Ooh.
probably cobbled together from some existing truck, right?
yeah. Look
Yeah.
at the next
Delivery
one.
truck or something. Very
Infantry
nice.
weapons and chevrons from the
Wow.
armed
And-
forces of the Ukraine.
And it looks like a DJI Mavic drone in
Oh, yeah.
135th scale.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Yes, suicide drones, things like that. Look at them all.
Look at that water cooled 30 on a
Maxim,
trolley.
yeah. The
Yeah.
old Maxim. See, they use whatever. Stinger missile.
This would be a fun kit just for the sheer
Just to
history.
build them.
Just
Yep.
to build them all. Yeah, this would be pretty
Yep.
cool.
Yep, exactly.
All right, that's got my attention. Interesting.
Anti-tank missiles, sports series pistols. They also employed the
Yep.
Malak, also known as the Vulcan assault rifle.
Hmm.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Lots of ways to give the Russians a headache. Then we have a airbase kit, Nakon FAM.
Nakam Phenom. Yeah.
Okay, Vietnam.
Nakam Phenom.
It's Vietnamese. Let's see how the AI handles that. So
Mhm.
you get the B-26K Counter Invader and O2 Skymaster pilot figures, ground and technical personnel figures with ornaments and 2 sets of the airfield plates. So you got a nice little thing to make a,
See, I should have waited. Shouldn't have bought
diorama.
the A26K
There you go. That'll teach you.
Okay.
Well, you just have
initially.
to buy
Should
another
have
one.
waited.
Just have to buy
But
another one. I'm sure
it
you can
would-
get the
But to be
Stuff
fair,
separately.
Terry, this kit wouldn't have come out if you hadn't bought it. So
true.
Yeah.
They were waiting. They were waiting. So yeah, so that's and they were designated A-26 because Thailand did not officially allow the deployment of bombers in its territory.
Hmm.
So these ran out of Thailand.
Interesting.
Very interesting from our friends at ICM. Okay, then I like this one from Mung. This is the 72nd scale, the fairly new M142 High Mars, high mobility rocket artillery system
That's pretty neat looking.
Mhm.
in 72nd scale. Again, you know what I'm going to say. You can sci-fi it up.
Oh yeah, this could be all kinds of different things, but
Yep.
it's also pretty prevalent right now as
Yep.
Yep.
just a beast.
They've delivered over 400. Lockheed Martin's delivered more than 400 to the Army, Marine Corps, and international customers, and it's been going since May 2005. I just don't remember seeing this that often, but again, I don't really follow the armor stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's the MLRS. It's just the next generation of the
Yeah,
MLRS,
and
right?
that's what I remember. That's what, you saw that, but this is
Yeah.
nice.
I
Yep,
think they're
170.
smaller. I think they're
Yeah, it
smaller
looks
than those
smaller.
original MLR,
Yeah,
which means better mobility.
yeah.
Yeah.
109 millimeters in length, modular design, makes assembly easy. Yeah, from the CAD renders, it looks good. And
That's a
you see
neat.
the modular design there.
It's a neat picture. Like they had again, the good thing of this site, they have real world pictures of
Mhm.
the
Yep,
vehicles, and they got this one in driving along a dirt road with all the dirt and dust on it,
Yeah.
coming right at you with the guy with the green painted camo face.
saying
But
we're
look at
going
that!
this way. We're
Look
going
at
this
that
way.
dust weathering and windshield wiper fluid and
Yep,
washing
exactly.
fluid.
Yep.
Yep,
That's a
yep, good
nice
example.
reference picture.
Except the guy's hands look way too clean.
Yeah, well, big hands, big hands. There you
Big
go.
hands, jazz hands. Jazz must be jazz hands.
Yeah, it
So
must be.
yeah, that's kind of cool. I saw that and I thought that was interesting. Okay, and then I saw this one on Facebook uh,
Yes.
Oh yeah,
from
this
Lookgraph.
is your palate cleanser, right?
Yeah, this is the palette cleanser. A Hand Riot HD1 biplane in 1/16th scale. A fully printed model with photo etch part and custom made decals. Clean printing without raster marks. And they're showing 2 cans of pop, which are 15 centimeters each high, just to show the comparison size of this thing.
This is a
Yeah.
Yeah.
monster.
The Enrios were beautiful planes too. And Luke
Yeah.
Graff. I have yet to buy anything from Luke Graff. Just
One day
they're so
you will.
tempting.
I
Yeah.
know. He's
Yeah,
got some photo etch there. Everything's 3D printed on this thing.
it
We're
looks
at that
beautiful.
point now.
Yeah,
So yeah, I don't imagine what the cost is going to be like, but
won't be
we
cheap.
will see. But yeah, I had to point that one out. They always do some cool stuff there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this one from our good friends at Special Hobby, the very last Royal Navy propeller fighter, which was the Mark 47 Seafire. So they're going to offer 4 schemes. And they're kind of indicating, various different schemes, how they were slightly different for each one, depending on the aircraft type. So, that's going to be a nice kit. The Seafire, I've always liked some of the later Seafires. I don't think I have any in 48 scale, so I may have to, scratch that itch at some point.
Nice looking plane.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
very
is.
nice, the Seafire. This is a 1/72nd scale example, so maybe they'll build a 48 scale one at some
You
point.
know what? I should know this, but I did not realize that the Spitfires went up to Mark 47.
Oh yeah,
That's a lot of marks.
yeah. They had quite a few. The line lasted quite a long time.
Yeah.
So, okay. Now this next one, if you're trying to work in Firefox, you might want to load this link in Chrome because Chrome will auto translate,
Yeah.
where Firefox doesn't auto translate Japanese yet.
Mhm.
This is the what's new for July, and I should have put August too, but we can do that as well. What's new for July? So they've got an F-35, they've got a Zero, a Skyhawk, all sorts of goodies
A lot of
coming.
repops. I'm gonna have to get these vending machines at some point.
Yeah.
Now they've got the hamburger vending machine.
Yeah. I did notice though the B-47E in 1/72nd scale. That's going to be a fairly large kit.
So re-released are the Batroid VF-1A armored
Yep.
Batroid,
Mhm.
and the new, if you go down a bit, new mold YF-19 Batroid.
Yep.
So that's I know. I think somebody had one in the past, but not at this scale. So
Yep,
72nd scale
exactly.
should be nice.
Yep. So I think I think it's going to be fun. They've also got some, what ifs, the Jet VTOL. So they got a bunch of new stuff coming out. I've also seen, where was it? Was it a YF-19 with the fast pack or something on top? I saw someone mention that. Peter
There's a
mentioned it.
bunch of them. Re-released. It's a
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
series of them, and the
The 21.
Space Wolf from
Yep.
Harlock.
Yep. So that's
Oh.
coming out.
Nice little kit.
Bringing out the Shinden again because of the Godzilla movie. So
Of
Yep.
course. Yep. Why not take advantage of it?
Oh yeah, free marketing.
Exactly. They got a V-22 Osprey in Japanese marking, some rally cars, some normal cars. So yeah, all sorts of good stuff. A few with attractive women in front of the cars. Go figure.
I mean, why not?
Well, that's Japan.
Just get them out of the way so we can see the car, right?
Excuse me, ma'am. Could you step aside, please?
Please. Can't see the car very well.
I like that. That's cool. And then if you actually go and it says next month, you go to August,
Yes.
they've got the Jet Beetle, which is a repop, the 1/72nd scale Jet Beetle,
Oh, from
which is a
Ultraman.
VTOL from Ultraman.
Yeah,
The airport chemical fire truck
that's
1/72nd scale.
nice.
That's nice. Yeah, I like
I've
that one.
actually seen that at a show.
Have
It's
you?
fantastic.
Is
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
A few motorbikes, Nissan Fairlady police car.
Yep.
There we go, Jeff. That's what you
And
should
if you
have
go
done.
down a
Put
bit,
light on
no,
top.
Geoff wants the Nissan Skyline 2000 GT
There
Oh,
you
yes.
down
Very
below.
nice.
Look at that beastie.
go. Very
Wicked.
nice.
Very nice.
YF21 from Macross Plus has been re-released.
And more of the Ace Combat ones.
Yep.
Did I get that one? Oh, I'm gonna have to look to see if I got that one.
All right. And then if we go to September,
Subaru 360. You skipped right over the Subaru.
I'm sorry.
Convertible.
That's what you're here. Is
with
it
the
convertible?
rollback canvas top.
There we go. Terry's going car shopping.
That's right.
360 convertible. Looks like a Japanese Beetle, right? The Japanese version of the Beetle, basically. And then
Probably
last
is a Japanese Beetle.
Yep. And then last but not least, into September, they re-released the F4U 5N Corsair in 48 scale. Classic kit, the Zero, the Draken.
The Draken resale.
Yep. The Sea
Yeah.
King. The F15J in 148th from Japan. Bunch of bikes. Here it is, the YF0 single seat Delta.
Oh, wait a
BM
minute.
Fat 203 Hawk.
I don't
That's
have to kit bash those now.
Yeah, you got a repop right there.
Yeah.
But you have to wait until September. And then you've
Yeah,
got
and oh, perfect. Because I was gonna scratch up those main pod wing pod are there's like a bunch of AMRAMs in them.
Mm-hmm.
So
We've got from Crusher Joe, the TR5 Harpy, Norma, the Macross ship is SDF1 and 1/4000th. Now, I don't know if this is a typo, but they've got 1/450 of plastic model Japanese aircraft carrier Shinamo. I don't know, but it says
Shinano.
1/450th.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a typo? Might be
I don't think
3/50th?
so.
No?
No, I doubt it. I think
Really?
it's some old box scale kit.
Okay, I've never seen it in that scale. They've got the VF1J Super Valkyrie Max Mila with the fast packs. Further down,
Always nice.
yeah, as you said, some more from Captain Harlock. Some
The
more-
blue Arcadia. Yeah.
Yep. And then, here's the one, the VF21 with fast pack and fold booster. That's when people,
yeah.
that's a brand new mold. People are
Oh.
very excited about that. Yeah, that looks nice. It looks like
Jesus.
it's carrying a giant fountain pen. I got to tell you, though. I realize it's not, but it looks like a fountain
Yeah,
pen.
full booster.
Because when you got a fold, you may as well do it with a booster, right?
Well, it's not Star Wars where everything's light jump capable,
I know.
including little single seat fighters. No, they need help.
They need help. When you want to fold space, when you absolutely positively want to fold space, get a fold booster. Here we go. How about the Toyota Celica 1600 GT?
Oh,
Yes.
boy.
Old school.
That's a memory machine. That
Oh
is.
yeah, I remember those. Seeing those. I also see I remember seeing a lot of them rusting too in our Canadian winters.
Oh yeah. The metal was not good on those cars.
No, they were rust buckets. So that is from our good friends at
Hasegawa.
Stay na- Oh, if you guys haven't picked the Mitsubishi F1 M2 Float Zero, the what did they call it? The F1, the Pete,
Oh yeah.
I think. Yeah, biplane observation catapult plane.
Right.
Very nice.
Yeah. Always.
No, wait, no, that's not the Pete. Is it? Good quote. The F1. Yeah,
Okay. You sure?
90%.
Okay, that works. That's close enough for us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good kit. It's a really good kit.
Cool.
I haven't
right.
built it yet, but it's a really good kit.
Very cool. Any other kits we should be talking about before we go to ScaleMates? Anything else?
I just have a strong feeling we're going to have to torch the AI.
I know it's going to be fun. It's
I don't
going to
know.
be fun.
I don't know how it's going to deal with the back and forth.
Or it's good learning. If we hear about Zoom going down tomorrow, we'll know it's us.
Yeah, it was a Mitsubishi Pete. That's right. That's what it
Mitsubishi
was.
Pete. Okay.
Mitsubishi.
Another, I was a catapult plane off ships.
There you go. Okay.
Observation.
Scalemates, full kits, new tool. We have an Imperial Japanese Navy submarine, the RO-35 and 1/350th.
That'll be
July
useful,
7th.
given all the 1/350th warships that are out there. That's a good good one.
Oh, we've got a S model China 1700th, the U.S. Navy Casablanca class escort aircraft carrier.
Yeah, neat.
I don't remember seeing a lot of escort class carriers, so that'll be popular. That's on July 6th, along with the USS Oakland from V Hobby. And then we've got from the Legion Astartes and other Games Workshop stuff, a couple of items there on the 5th. There's the Leopard with the crew from ICM.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing a lot of submarines coming out now from this one company, OKB Grigolf, USS Triton.
Yeah. 1700. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you've got a 72nd scale self-propelled artillery, 2S3 from Alex Miniatures and 172nd. A landing pad for your Games Workshop 28 mil. Now I got to note this next one, just below that one. Now, is it me or does that logo kind of have a Matchbox vibe?
No, it is completely a Matchbox.
Okay, Triumph D. Willens. Good thing Matchbox doesn't do this stuff anymore. Although Hornby might want to go after them. But
definitely, that was my first read was, it's a repop. No, it's a new tool, but they're using that mark.
That logo, sure. They're using the 1/72nd scale.
Yeah, some 72nd scale vehicles, World War II.
Yep. Yeah, but I saw that and I went, yeah. What else?
I'm not sure that Matchbox would want to be associated with Triumph of the Will, but
no, but I don't think they want to be. So you never know. We're waiting for comment from Hornby's lawyers because I think they own the Matchbox IP now.
Yeah.
No, actually, no, it's Revell. Revell has a lot of their old armor kits at 176. They've got the molds now. So maybe it's Revell. I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest. We're waiting for somebody's lawyers to comment. All right, July 1st, the PLA Navy aircraft carrier Fujian by Bronco in 1/700 scale. That's one of the newer carriers the Chinese Navy has.
Yeah.
That's a good scale. Interesting looking.
A couple different releases.
Yeah, interesting looking bridge on that too.
It's interesting because that's Bronco's doing it in 1/700, and then Magic Factory's doing it in 1/700. It's the same Fujian.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the same molding.
It kind of has to be, yeah.
One would think.
Well, the Bronco one says 2022 new tool, and Magic Factory says 2024 asterisk new tool.
Huh.
So who knows?
Yeah, they don't have sprue shots for the Bronco one, sadly, but you never know.
No, it says it doesn't. The product timeline doesn't reference the Bronco kit.
No, it doesn't. So
I guess Bronco's just repopping theirs when these guys
maybe
put this out.
Don't you love competition?
I know. Oh, Iron Shipwrights has a few exciting new announcements on the 30th. The Virginia class Block 3 nuclear submarine. This is one of the latest ones. The USS Indiana, SSN 789. That's Resident 3D and 1/350th. And the USS Jimmy Carter. That was the Seawolf class, the special project. SSN 23. Those will be big in 1/350th. Those are both big boats. So they'll be bigger than you think. What else here? What's this? Guts Berserker from Max Factory.
Yeah.
I think that
He looks like he's having a bad day. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, it says it's from the anime Berserk.
Okay. Well, it looks like he's having trouble lifting his sword.
That's what I was going to say. That the sword definitely looks like. Oh, I'm very disappointed.
I'm very tired. I've been working all day. I'm coming home, honey. What's for dinner?
Oh
no! They drag the swords along to be intimidating, so it scrapes along the ground.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. But that's going to like dull the point, though. I'm just
it's a magic blade. Don't worry about it.
All
Don't
right.
worry about
I won't worry about it. Okay. All right. Now, how about this one from June 29th? Terror from the year 5000. Escape Hatch Hobbies Oh, and then I can't load
1/8
it.
scale.
It didn't
Wait.
load.
Oh no,
This
it doesn't
page does not
exist.
exist.
It didn't load.
Oh no.
What's with
I
that?
wonder if that's just been put there just to play games with us.
Maybe. That's
Terror
totally
from the year
annoying.
5000. Okay,
Terror,
fine.
terror, terror. What else we got here? We got some doll tanks. I assume again from another Japanese IP.
Megami Device, Buster Doll
Doll
Paladin,
tank.
and Buster Doll
Full
Tank.
1-to-1 scale. How the heck can you have this in 1-to-1 scale? Is this like
Maybe
from
they were
No.
really tiny.
cosplaying or something?
Buster Doll. Okay,
All right.
interesting.
1/1 scale,
Someone
full
explain that.
action plastic model kit. I've no idea.
Oh dear. Okay, then we have the armored railroad car with the turn of a D-13 armored car from UN Military Technology, 1/72nd scale, an armored railway car
There you go.
Intriguing.
for your armored railway, and then a lot more gaming size miniatures, a lot of Dodge trucks here with various options.
Yeah.
Embraer EMB 111P from AR model.
Yeah, little Embraer turbo prop.
Yeah.
I like it.
Very,
And then
very
EMB
nice.
110.
Yep. And then we've got the June 27th, the Arido ARE
Those are the main
581-5. This was definitely a Luft 46.
Yeah, definitely that.
19 resin parts and a vacuform canopy. Oop. And then we've got the Japanese Self-Defense Force wing set number 4 and the aircraft set number 2 in 1/700 scale.
So there you go. Very nice.
F4s, F2s, and a U-125 in various schemes.
And then the HIMARS that we already talked about from
Mhm.
Mung.
And then a few more from Iron Shipwrights, the Limbs Coast class nuclear sub, the Narwhal class, the Sturgeon class, special projects version.
Well, it's certainly golden age for shipbuilders, isn't it?
Oh, it is, especially if you're
Yeah.
sub builders.
Yeah.
And then a few more Gundams. The Brave Fighter of Legend, Dagern and GX parts.
Dagarn.
That is a big gun, and he's got a big codpiece, Geoff.
Yeah, well, you got to have a big codpiece if you're going to be one of these guys.
I guess.
Speaking of big codpieces, then we have Guilty Princess,
Great.
Prison Guard Louisa
Yeah.
with a
Oh
tail.
dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Need we say more?
No.
No, I'm just gonna stop at June 22nd.
I think that's where we were.
Yeah, the Ferrari Daytona SP3 from Alpha Model in
That's a
1/24. That's a beauty.
Mm,
Look at that.
nice.
Very nice. I can't imagine the insurance on that.
It's funny, I've been going through Facebook. I think we talked about this before, but the Facebook algorithm constantly updates depending on what you look at on Facebook
Yeah.
Marketplace. And so I was with babysitting my grandson, and he loves cars, and so we were looking at various, as he calls them, fancy cars
Cool.
on Facebook Marketplace. So we were clicking on some of these things, and all of a sudden I'm getting all these cars on Facebook Marketplace coming up, and they're all like crazy expensive cars. Somebody's actually selling, I don't even know, I can't remember what it was, but they're selling this thing, and it looks amazing, for 1.2 million on Facebook Marketplace. I mean,
may as well advertise, I guess. Yeah.
I think
guess.
that's got to be all it is anyway.
Well, the kids are into that now. But you know what? I've been seeing ads for Land Rovers. Same thing.
Yeah.
Autos.com, but it's all Land Rovers they're showing me. So I don't
Hey.
remember doing searches on that, but obviously I did, or I mentioned it at some point.
Yeah, it's probably they're just following the show.
Maybe, exactly. Okay, let's talk about another cool guy, our good friend Steve at Cult TV Man with lots of great deals. Here we go. Let's see what's new and exciting from our good friend Steve at Cult TV Man. First of all, they're going to be at the IPMS National Convention, or NATS as we call it, July 17th to 20th. The best of the best are going to be there. They're going to be in the vendor's room along with their friends from Blackheart Models. They're looking forward to seeing many of their customers and friends. They're going to have 4 tables of spaceships, monsters, including all your favorite Star Trek, Star Wars 2001, Space 1999, and classic models. They'll be bringing kits from AMT, Polar Lights, Atlantis, MPC, Bandai, plus aftermarket parts from Aztec Dummy, Paragraphics, Tenna Control, Voodoo FX, and more. make sure you stop by there and tell them that Stuart from the Scale Model Podcast sent you. They also got some of the pre-orders, some new arrivals. They've been busy packing, getting those out to customers. The Rhedosaurus, the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms from X Plus. Dunatrases, that's the big Onmorthopter. 1/72nd scale from Mung. Jurassic World Beta in blue, 1/35th scale from X Plus. The Marilyn Monroe 1954 USO Tour Edition, 1/8 scale from X Plus. And the Dune Paul Atreides from the latest Dune miniseries, set of movies, I should say, the deluxe edition, 1/12th scale from Mung. Definitely worth checking out. And as always, they got all sorts of new stuff. They got paint masks for the 2001 Space Station coming in. You've got just oodles and oodles. So the 2001 Space Station, 2600, 1 to 2600 scale, them and the paint masks, they are on back order, but you can join the waiting list and they'll get those to you as soon as they come in. So make sure you check out all the exciting new things and don't forget to see them at Nats. Remember, that's culttvmanshop.com and culttvman.com, and tell them the Scale Model Podcast sent you. Okay, what's on the bench? I haven't had much time, but I'm getting there. You know what I'm finding? Working on this Yamamoto's really shown me, really break things down into small projects. Kind of focus on, a little bit like that, and it's working. So I got the turrets put together, got them painted, the blast bags, and the gray put on. The only thing I've left off are the little tiny anti-aircraft guns because they're a little bit too fragile. I'll wait till I got the turrets mounted and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got 2 out of the 3 decks on. Technically 1. I've dry fitted the other one. I've got to glue it now, the center one. And then when I get the other third one on, then going on will be the aftermarket wood deck, and then I can put on all the other little bits that I painted. So it is coming along.
What are your plans
nicely.
for, like, how do you plan on gluing the wood deck down? Is there a way?
Some people have said super glue. Some people have said regular glue. I believe Harold from our club said regular white glue. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Apparently it is adhesive. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos are saying use super glue, CA glue. So
there's also stuff like Hobby Tack and such, contact cements that
That's kind of what I was wondering. Yeah,
I'm going to do some research on that before I put on. It's the first time I've done it. So yeah, if you're going to go, why not start big? At least it didn't cost me a ton if I screw it up. And if I do screw it up, the actual deck itself, the plastic has the wood thing engraved, and I could mask. But I'm trying to do this to save me a ton of masking. Because
and I think it'll look nicer too.
Yeah, I think it will too. So I know it is coming along. It's a fairly simple build actually, which reflects the time it was built. Like I'm sure the new, what is it, the Border or the brand new, someone's made a brand new 1/350th. I think it was Border.
Well, then there's a 200 scale one as well.
Yeah, and they're both highly complex and a lot more, but that's too much for me. I couldn't justify it, and I wouldn't do a good enough job to justify the price on it.
Yeah,
this one I'm enjoying.
And ships are kind of the epitome of sub-assemblies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, one thing I have realized, I can see why people like buying the aftermarket barrels. Because the plastic ones, they're all right, but you do notice that the cap's on, there's no hollow thing, so you either have to paint or do something to put, like, there's a cap on it. Where I can see that. So I have a feeling probably when I build the Fletcher, I'm probably going to look at, I don't think it came with brass barrels, but I might look at that for the 5-inch guns. I think it does make enough of a difference. So doing that, and then I was bad again at the Broughdale sale. I can't even say I went in for paint because I didn't buy any paint. So it was on the shelf and it was still there when it went to 20% off. So I bought a Cataro Brian Lane Mark 1 Spitfire in 1/32nd scale. I bought that because, of course, I saw Terry's when he brought his a couple of years back to Heritage Con, and it is an absolutely beautiful kit. It's got a resin of the pilot resin figure. The instructions are absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to do an inbox review at some point. So I bought that. We also had a partially started Matchbox 1/32nd Lysander kit. That's the one like Geoff built a while back.
Yep.
Partially started, $20. It's in pretty good shape. Can't go wrong. It's one I've always wanted. When I was a kid, I saw that and I drooled over it in the shop window a few times. And then something new for me off their red tag sale or whatever, where if you buy one thing, you get 10%, two things, you get 20, all the way up to five things. They had a Tamiya 112 Suzuki RG250 motorcycle. I've never built a motorcycle kit, and the Tamiya ones do fascinate me. So this was
Hmm.
a good deal. I got it for 50% off. Bought a couple other diorama and terrain stuff for the other four items. So yeah, so that'll be interesting. And then of course coming soon, where the hell am I going to put all these? Between that and the Bentley, and yeah, exactly. So you'll have to stay tuned and find out.
Yeah.
Geoff, what about you, sir?
Well, as I noted in the notes, it's summer and I've done a lot. There's a lot of stuff being done outside and working on the house and this, that, and the other, and babysitting. That's another thing too. Um, I too went to Broughdale. I can't remember. I don't remember if we talked about this at the show, the last show, or whether we did it during our build night. Probably our
We did
build
it.
night.
We did it during our build night.
Yeah, but I did. I applied the Stuart approach to bringing down the discount or raising the discount
Yeah,
percentage. Bought a whole bunch of little crap, and then I bought myself an Airfix 148 scale Buccaneer kit. Beautiful new
very
bolts
nice.
and really nice kit,
Yes.
and it's a lot of bits to it.
Now we
Big,
should
lots
we
of.
should also point out that you not only did you go in the store and do that, but you also had your lovely wife and your youngest daughter with you. Because
Yes,
just as I was leaving, you were pulling in, so
and we
you were
almost hit each other
supervised.
in the parking lot.
Yeah,
Yes,
almost.
exactly.
You were supervised though.
I was supervised, although it was interesting. We went in there, and I was talking to Brian or to Richard.
Richard.
I almost blanked on my head there, thinking about my brother. Almost spent a lot of time chatting with Richard, and as I'm chatting with Richard, my wife and daughter are wandering around the store, looking at everything else, and basically talking about God knows what. And then Richard mentioned, "Well, it's nice to meet your family, but I won't let them know they haven't discovered yet that there's a bakery just around the corner, and they have the most wonderful muffins." And my daughter, literally halfway down the store, popped her head over the stack of models and said, "Muffins? Did someone say there are muffins
Muffin.
nearby?" Boom, off they went. So anyway,
I'll have to remember that when Alicia is more healthy and she
apparently it's
comes
a
in
really
with me
good
the other
bakery.
time.
So
Yeah, I've
Oh,
heard good
great.
things about it.
yeah, but anyway, no. So that was fun, and yeah, I bought the same kind of diorama bits. They're lowest price things I could find, and then drop the discount or raise the discount up to 50% off,
Yeah.
and got the whole batch for less than $100 Canadian,
Well,
which
there's
is
some good deals there. Like they had a bunch of Spitfire kits and some other stuff, and I would have taken advantage of it if I hadn't already got so many 48 scale Spitfires. I did see there was a special Hobby Sea Fury, and even at the 50% off, it still would have been around $45. I just couldn't quite, as I told Richard, that was a bridge too far.
yes, yes, yeah.
Because
Well,
after,
what was interesting chatting with Richard, he did mention that he's looking forward to being retired. He's been doing
yes,
this for like 35 years or something to that
yep,
effect.
yep.
And we may see him at our club has the in-person build nights every Wednesday night, and Zoom build nights the same every Wednesday night, called Gray Butts. And he says, I may wind up seeing you guys at Gray Butts.
Excellent. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, I did have the opportunity when I was in there, I did have an opportunity to meet the brand new owner.
Oh,
So the store is going to be changing hands. I'm not going to say anything else right now. I'll leave it up to them to make an announcement, but the store is going to remain open even after
hmm
Richard's retired. So that's good news. So we're wishing the owner good luck. We might get him on the show in the fall.
it'd be great.
Um,
It'd be
yeah,
nice.
I think it'll be
Yeah,
good to see get an opinion there, especially when you're taking over a long established business.
yeah.
So the sale goes, if you're local, the sale goes at Broughdale's until the end of the month. So make sure you take advantage. You can get some more details on Facebook or at rrhobby.ca.
Yeah, yeah. And with respect to what I've actually got on my bench, I'm still working on the frog foot. This Ukraine, it's not Ukraine, Russian. I don't know. It's an ancient mold,
Right.
but it's actually a pretty good mold. I think I talked about that once before. And I'm also getting to the paint stage on the Goblin, XF85 Goblin, the little parasite fighter from the B-36 era.
Hmm.
But the most important thing that I did in the last 2 weeks is we had a new club member express interest in joining the group, and he joined us on the Facebook or on our Zoom call last
Hmm.
Wednesday night,
Hmm.
and he had asked if anybody had an Airfix Handley Page 0400 kit because he wanted to build it as a tribute.
Wow. What a coincidence.
And I
Who
said, well,
doesn't?
yeah, exactly. I said, well, I have one with a few parts missing because Stuart was kind enough to donate it to my cause when I was working
Yep.
on my Handley Page. And he said he'd be fine because he's pretty comfortable fabricating parts. And then during our conversation on the build night, I mean, it came up that I had an affinity for a certain type of aircraft known as, lighter than air vehicles,
Zeppelins.
i.e. Zeppelins. Yes.
Yes.
And he said, oh, well, I had picked up at a garage sale a Hawk 1/247th scale Graf Zeppelin kit, this plastic kit. I said, well, I've got this 1/200 scale in paper. And he says, well, would you like a plastic one? I said, yes, I would. So basically now I have this massive freaking box. And it's great. It's great. So thanks very much, Kevin. That was a very good trade for, I think, for both of us. We both came out well on that
I
one.
remember when you posted the box on Facebook, it brought back, I remember it now. Remember seeing
Yes.
it in some stores and that the thing was massive. So yes, more
It's huge.
Zeppelins.
And it's got lighting in it too, which is interesting. And
got
I started doing the research. I didn't realize there were two Graf Zeppelins.
Yeah.
There was the first one, which was probably the most successful airship ever, as far as traveling, but it never carried really much in the way of paying customers because it was it was helium.
Helium.
It was the only one they did with helium. And then they came up with a Graf Zeppelin II, which they finished just before the outbreak of World War II. And it was essentially exactly the same design as the Hindenburg. And when the Hindenburg crashed, well, so did the Graf Zeppelin too.
That kind of put an end to that. People
Yeah.
get a bit nervous when they see what hydrogen
Oh,
can do.
Oh,
some
the
reason.
humanity.
The
Oh, the
humanity.
humanity.
The
Yeah.
humanity.
So that's
Yeah.
all I've been up to. That's what I've been up
Okay. Well, you've been busy. That's good. We the fans approve.
to. Sure.
All right, Mr. Terry.
Yeah, working on the dreadnoughts. Pretty much just working on the dreadnoughts
Mhm.
the last couple of weeks here in the paint booth, and now I'm kind of I'm pretty happy with how that worked out. Unmasked the experimental orange and white version, and not surprisingly, in a couple places I should have done better. But dealing with masking cuts and things like that. But overall, very good. Not a whole lot of cleanup to do. And now I'm doing stuff like the detail bits and like the gunmetal-y kind of places, things like that, and lining. So I've been doing panel lining for a while now. Just mostly just using the India ink in Future because it's nice and dark and works really well on these kind of things.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
I was just going to say, well, the paint job looks amazing, and you've got me all excited about trying that technique. So I'm going to give it a shot.
On the red one, I did the complementary color technique, and I don't know. I think the pictures have made it into show notes. If not, I'll make sure you get copies of those.
Yeah, please.
But they've been shared on the Facebook page, and
yeah, they're looking good. They're
Yeah.
looking really, really good.
Yeah,
So.
it gives a lot of color depth rather than black, which just kind of muddies it. It's like cancels out, it's like the opposite. So it cancels out the color and just gives a lot of depth.
Right. Very cool.
Yeah, so I have mostly been doing that, a little bit of building on that phalanx because I want to try the same paint techniques on that.
Right. Very cool. All righty.
Very nice.
All right, what we're reading. I'm still reading the same two things. Getting through them. Clear Thinking, Turning Ordinary Moments into Extraordinary Results by Shane Parrish. And a couple of chapters into D-Day by Martin Gilbert, and I am already really enjoying that. Martin's a really good historical writer. He's got a lot of stuff out there. I don't know where he finds time to write it all, but he does. So highly recommend both of them. Hopefully I'll get caught up, get a few more titles under the belt during the summer. Geoff.
Yeah, I have been going kind of crazy as far as reading goes. I picked up over at not Dollar Store, but
Dollar
anyway,
Tree?
No, it's not Dollar Tree. It's the one where it's like Goodwill, but it's not Goodwill.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, they have books amongst other things, and my daughter loves to go there and buy weird things because they can buy weird things cheap and you don't feel guilty about it. So my wife and I went over with her to give her a day out, and I wound up buying a whole bunch of books. So I picked up The Johnstown Flood, which is by David McCullough, an excellent American writer,
Hmm.
historian, uh, Pulitzer Prize winner for Truman and 1776, I think it was. Anyway, he's written a whole bunch of great books, and I love his writing. And I didn't know anything about this. This is Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and it was happened in the end of the 1800s when an artificial dammed lake, basically the dam gave out, and the only reason the dam had been rebuilt, it had given out before. It was rebuilt because the Andrew Carnegie and all the rich guys from various places decided they wanted to go fishing. And so they built a
Well,
lake, they stocked it, they got rid of the spillway and put a big fish barrier over the spillway so nothing could get out of the lake because they didn't want
mhm.
their expensive fish to go down to the hoi polloi.
Oopsie.
And and,
Yeah.
uh, and and then they had the worst weather in like a century, and it was an earthen dam. The water crested the dam right in the center and washed it completely out.
Oh
And you
boy.
and you had a tidal wave of roughly 76 feet high go careening down these valleys and take out the town of Johnstown, plus a couple of other smaller settlements on the way.
Wow.
2,200 people died in a town that was like maybe 20,000 people to start with.
Hmm.
And it was just a nightmare. And it's anyway, very interesting story. Definitely worth reading. Highly recommend it. And it's actually not a really long book either. It's a good quick read. The other one I picked up, another one I picked up was The Lost City of the Monkey Gods, Monkey God, by Douglas Preston, who is Preston and Childs, famous for
Mm.
the Relic and various other books that they've written over the years. Anyway, and this was about the use of LiDAR technology to uncover a hidden city in the Central American jungles, and I think it was Honduras. Very interesting story as well. But it wasn't just that; it was also the story about parasitic diseases because he caught one, and essentially it wasn't schistosomiasis, but it was something essentially that would eventually eat his face off.
Hate it when that happens.
I know, and there's no consistent treatment because it affects everybody differently depending on genetic
Oh,
Oof.
makeup.
jeez. This is why I don't go down there.
It's
And
never
all,
live anywhere that doesn't get a good hard freeze in the
Yeah,
winter.
because things will eat your face off. I'm just
That's
saying.
right.
yeah, exactly,
I'll take
exactly.
chiggers any day.
Yeah.
But the infuriating thing about it is it's one of these diseases, and there are a number of parasitic diseases that kill millions and millions of people and maim millions and millions of people annually around the world. But the drug companies absolutely have no interest in working up any kind of
Yeah.
solutions for them
Exactly.
because there's no
Scandalous.
money in it. They're all
Of
poor
course not.
people. They're all poor
Yeah.
people that die. So it's kind of one of those kinds of stories that makes you infuriated. This guy got all the best treatment in the world from the National Institute of Health because they were treated as an experimental group and it was free, and
Mm,
also because he's a major writer.
yeah.
And you kind of get a little pissed about that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, the last one I picked up was another one called The Danger Tree, and I picked it up just because on the front it was highly recommended as engrossing prose. I haven't read engrossing
Mm,
prose too often, and it's a really engrossing, well-written, beautiful story, a family history from Newfoundland about basically the history of Newfoundland
Hmm.
and World War One. And because World War One, there was a huge number of guys from Newfoundland who signed up just to get the hell away from Newfoundland, and nobody came back.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, very interesting story. It's a great time to read in the hammock by the lake. That's what I was doing today. Very nice.
Very good. I always thought engrossing prose was all your articles for RT and Beaver Tales.
That doesn't qualify
No?
for this.
Oh, okay.
This is really fun. It's sad, fun, interesting, true. It's kind of like you recognize a lot of these people from families that you'd known, including
Yeah.
maybe your own, that kind of thing.
Right.
Anyway,
Very cool.
highly
Okay.
recommended.
Awesome. Terry, how about you, sir?
Still reading. I'm in book 2 of Adrian Tchaikovsky's Shards of Earth series, about
Mhm.
20% in, I think. This guy's his wheelhouse is all that alien, human, and unknown, right?
Yep.
It's fantastic.
Hmm.
Just the shards, it's like Shards of Earth is the title of the first book, and it really is. Humanity has split into various groups as well. It's not like dune far future where they're almost different species by that point.
Mhm.
It's not that, it's political. And the aliens are part of that as well. And I don't know where this is going. I say that with everything because it's too early to tell. It's already shifting.
Very cool.
And then I'm reading the Hellboy omnibus at bedtime. It's a great book, and trying to catch up on some issues of science and Scientific American instead of just sitting there playing on the iPad while I'm eating breakfast or something.
Yeah, I got to do more of that too. Just kind of, just instead of mindlessly scrolling Facebook or
Where else
watching the
am I
news
going to find
sites.
these things to tell people all the time? It's like, well, you don't keep up with this?
Exactly.
I used to love Scientific American. I mean, my dad had a subscription since the mid '60s, and
it's still solid. It's still really well written.
It's such a good magazine, and at least half the articles I can't quite figure out what they're talking about half the time. But even at that, I still feel smarter at the end of reading it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I rarely I get science as well, and that's a weekly, and my God, it's just so much material.
Yeah.
I rarely go in and read the research articles because those are well above, but all the summaries and everything else and the news is fantastic, and just articles. Research papers in something like science can be, if I'm familiar enough with the field, I can get something out of it. Otherwise, I'll just go and look at the bits and pieces that I can get out of it.
Very cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think if we spent less time on social media, more time going through some hard stuff like that, I think the world would be a much better place.
Yeah.
Okay, also making the world a much better place, our good buddy Sean from Sean's Custom Model Tools. Let's see what he has to say today. Now we're going to talk a bit about Sean's Custom Model Tools, one of our other sponsors of the Scale Model Podcast. Some very cool things, both 3D printed and the Goodman Super Sanding Blocks. Let's start with the Microset and Microsole decal set bottle stand. This is purposely designed for the microscale set and sole. Most modelers over the years, they've tipped these bottles over. So this is a very handy thing. At $14.95, you can put them both together. They're printed in blue and red for easy identification. Comes with a black base, and they actually have little magnets on it, so it keeps them in place. Definitely a good deal. I use mine all the time, and I can well recommend them. Let's talk a bit about those Goodman Model Super Sanding Blocks, namely the Value Pack Combo for $28.99. You get the 80 grit, 180 grit, 220, 320, 400, and 600. Just an amazing set, just what you need. And you can also, if you want, you can also get a super sanding block stand for it, which also really makes life a little bit easier, helps things keep it organized. The other thing too is they have the awesome model tape dispenser for your various tapes. It's basically a 3D printed thing. You put spools of your tapes. It's got a little razor blade to help cut it, and it's really, really good design. So yeah, works out really well, and yours for $19.95. So check out these and other amazing deals at Sean'sCustomModelTools.com, and also on Facebook, and tell them that the Scale Model Podcast sent you. Okay, the things we've seen.
Sean's tape dispenser performed yeoman service on these. On this.
I love that
experimental dreadnoughts.
I love that thing. That tape dispenser with the razor blade. It's just
utility blade.
You can't beat it. Okay, Edward has their latest Info Edward magazine. Considering this is like a combination magazine and catalog they do every month. Considering it's free, it's excellent quality. We've covered it before. So this time they're talking about Australian Mark 16 Spitfires, ICC Red Doras. So BF-109s, Volkowitz 190s, some articles on the oil campaign, a Mustang at Boleslav, Mustang Day, aerial war in Ukraine, Russian airports under fire. So lots of good stuff. And of course, all the some pictures. Always good to see what they're working on. They did mention they are working on P40s. 1/48 scale. So their work continues on that. I know a lot of people are excited about that. Those are all going to be new tools.
I hope they do the model Tuskegee Hawks flew
Oh,
in
this one's
combat
on the
early on.
E.
You
They're
had
starting on the
to,
E.
yeah, but you have to kit bash like 3 kits to make one of those, and I forget what it was, like the
Okay.
M or something like that.
Well, I'm sure they will. I won't be
I hope
surprised
so.
at
It's
all. Yeah.
underserved,
Yeah,
and they've got decals.
yep, they're pretty good. They're also working on molds for other versions of Zero, the A6M5, A6M7, and a two-seat A6M2-K, as well as molds for the MiG-21F. Both are projects for next year. The Zeros will be introduced in the first half of the year, and the MiG-21 in the second half. So absolutely no need for us to worry about abandoning those projects. So there we go. So yeah, the P40E is currently with the technologist. Development of the molds is underway, as well as minor modifications to the structure. I am assuming the second half of July will see the first molds. And on E-Day at the end of September, the plastic will be available for viewing. At that time, the plastic may not be complete, but they'll have 3 or 4 sprues out of a total of 6.
Cool.
And November in Telford, we might be introducing the complete kit and selling it in pre-production form in white boxes, similar to what they did for the Mustangs at Easter. So again, well worth checking. His editorials always good every month. A good kind of what they're doing behind the scenes, stuff like that. They have some good articles. If you're a Mustang fanatic, this one's definitely a must download. They take a ride in some restored ones, etc. Ton of pictures. Definitely worth checking out. So that is from Edward.
Cool.
Okay, and what's the Space in Miniatures?
Space in Miniature. Mike Makowski does these great. You go to spaceinminiature.com and you'll
Yes.
see a collection of some of the best reference material for real space subjects that you're going to ever want.
Yeah.
And I have been waiting and looking for research material on the Saturn V as I slowly build up the nerve to start building some of my. I have a couple of Saturn V's lying around.
Mm-hmm.
And he has recently, the most recent Space in Miniature series, number 10, is on the Saturn V, a guide for scale model builders. It's not a history of the rocket. It's not a developmental history. It is purely information for model builders. And on that basis, it scores very highly. I highly recommend this.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. It's really good stuff, and it's really helpful. Great pictures, color pictures in the PDF version that I've got. Now I understand the paper version. If you buy that, the pictures are black and white. But I would just get the PDF version myself because then I can do my little finger zoom in and see what exactly what I want to see. It's just a really good publication, and a publication if you're interested in building a model of a Saturn V, this is what you want to get.
Very cool. I should point out our good friends at Cult TV Man have it available for pre-order for the book for $12.99 US. You can pre-order
it. But like basically I went online, PayPal, click, boom, had it within 10 minutes, within 5 minutes.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. In fact,
great.
I'm gonna put up their link as well, and there it is, new sim book. Yep. So lots of stuff happening and what they're working on. So very, very cool. Okay.
You just don't realize until you really look. I mean, obviously at some level you do, but it's amazing the complexity of these machines.
Oh, the Saturn V, the most complex machine ever devised by man.
Absolutely incredible that they could come up with this within basically 10 years.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
You throw enough money at anything,
I'm not sure, not everybody can do that. I mean,
no. They built it, and I forget what portion of the US GDP the space program was at the time. So you built that knowledge quickly from the end of World War II.
Yep.
Within 20 years, they were getting ready to put men in orbit.
Yeah, I know. It's absolutely astounding. And to people who complain about the cost, well, that's a lot cheaper than a nuclear war. So I think that's not so bad.
This is true.
Something useful.
All right. Yeah. And Terry, what about you?
Geoff's mention of Douglas Preston's book reminded me of Alfred Lynn, who was a National Geographic explorer, did a couple series where he went essentially into the bush around the world with a drone-mounted LiDAR system and looking for ancient civilizations, settlements, that kind of stuff. And between the space mounted stuff, which can see large stuff, and his that can see small stuff, they found all kinds of stuff. And like
Very cool.
Central America, South America, it's now thought, finding all these settlements, that there were as many people there as were in Europe at any given time before the Spanish arrived and disease wiped everybody out.
Yeah.
And I see National Geographic has 3 or 4 full episodes here that you
There's
can check
more
out.
than that. I don't know where you can find them all, but there's some on YouTube. It's well worth watching.
Yep, I'm just looking at the link you sent here.
He lost a chunk of his leg in a motorcycle accident, and so he's doing all of this stuff with a prosthesis as well.
Oh wow!
And he's just relentless. He's just fantastic.
This is amazing.
The people he meet are amazing. In Honduras, I think it was Honduras, because all the drugs and everything else.
It was Honduras. I just didn't want to. I wanted to be absolutely sure of it, but definitely that's the area, and the whole place is full. It's full of cities.
So an army they escorted his team into there as well, and then the army guys on their off time are helping with the digs. They're like super involved with it, and he's hopefully helping to bring this culture of learning their ancestors even more now that they know what to look for, because they're finding these houses that were like, here in my town, the rich guys from Chicago would come out here in the summertime because Chicago was just sweltering. It's like, and these houses were there too. They looked like summer homes of wealthy people that would get out of the cities during the tough parts of the year. And then at least that's the one that he found there, but literally around the world.
Well, I now know what I'm going to be watching the next little while.
Well, look at how long the first episode is.
They're hour episodes.
No, the first one is 4.5 hours.
So that's 4. Yeah, I didn't even open. I just found the link.
I think it's
because I've watched all of them. So I might have
one.
There's
mega episode. It's the whole of season 1, maybe.
Cool.
That could be.
Yeah, that's
finding more of Stone. They're still finding more of Stonehenge.
You had me at Lost Cities.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's great. I hope they do more with him. I'll have to check to see if they've done more.
Very cool.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Sometime for summer, set up your monitor in front of your build station there and watch something.
Away you go.
Educational, and then lose yourself watching it and
stop building your model.
Stop building. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. That's my problem sometimes. Exactly.
Incredible.
Petra. Very cool.
Okay, so we're also sponsored by Return to Kit Form from Brett and Chrissy. It was just Brett's birthday recently, so happy birthday to Brett. All your good Macross needs, Macross canopy, mask, etc. Check out their web store at return2kitform.com. For more modeling podcast goodness, check out our other modeling podcasts at mailtopodcast.com. And also don't forget to please leave us a positive review if you enjoy what we're doing. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and of course our very own website where you get to see all the nice pictures. scalemodelpodcast.com. We also have merchandise on Redbubble. So, as I said, we're going to be taking a little break for the summer, but we will be back in early September, and you'll still see us on Facebook and stuff like that. We're just going to suspend the podcast for about 6 weeks or so, take a break. So, anything else I've forgotten, gentlemen?
Nope.
All right. So, for episode 144, my name is Stuart Clark.
I'm Geoff Hyland.
And I'm Terry Measley, reminding you that we're taking the summer off to build more models. So stay hydrated and share your builds.
Yay.
See you in September.
See you in September.
There we go. Now everyone's singing. All right. Thank you and be well.